Welcome to the beautiful Gizzeria in Italy and the 2013 European Kite Racing Championship. The unique environment of the Hang Loose Beach could not be a better place for this event to be hosted. The hospitality and the great sailing conditions on offer are just a few of the advantages the top riders had during the strong 5 days of the championship. The European Championship is probably the second most important event after the Worlds, and that is the reason it attracted more than 90 kiters from all over the globe. In the men's fleet, the Italian Lezzese and the American Cock are just some of the many experienced and achieving riders that compete here. In the women's fleet, the young Russian Kalinina showed some great results in the 2013 Africans, as she has to have a more stable performance in order to beat the British Bridge, which has many years of experience. On the first day of the event, everything was up and going well with the riders, ready to perform at their best. More than 90 kiters on site at Hang Loose Beach, one of the top locations for kite surfing worldwide, with virtually guaranteed constant wind and sunny weather all summer long, but also a superb place to relax and holiday. The 74 competitors in the men's fleet were split into 2 flights and kicked off the opening day with 4 races. The weather was around 12 knots in the morning, and as the day went on increased to 18 knots, offering some great conditions for racing. With the fleet clearly going for the starboard side of the starting line, it was 2 fast windward-leeward legs before the short reach to the finish line. A great performance from many riders saw fast-paced and close racing at the top places, with a surprise outcome for Russia's new entry Doronin, who scored 2 bullets, a third and a second, to lead the day, with Italian Lezzese following with just 1 point behind. France's Dansin also delivered a steady performance with 3 second places and holds an overall leaderboard position of 3rd. It was all about the start today and taking the advantage off the line. The stable breeze eliminated the luck factor, ensuring the best riders were shining at the front. In the women's fleet, it was the young Russian Kalinina who dominated the 18 riders, leaving the much more experienced Bridge from Great Britain in 2nd place and battling it out with Holland's Roos. Kalinina made her appearance at the Kite Africans in March, and her skills defy her young age of only 15 years old. She made a big impression in Egypt and clearly demonstrated her potential to have a great future in the sport. Bridge, on the other hand, has many years of kite racing experience and shares her passion with her son, who is also racing here and scored a bullet in the first race of the men's fleet today.
I'm not so worried about me. I've kind of done racing for a long time. It's really about him and making sure his level is going up and his speed is good, and yeah, he's dominating. Like, he's only 15, so it's good.
After the end of the first day, the men's fleet continue with the qualification races on the 2nd day as well, before they split up into gold and silver on the 3rd day. The women race as one fleet until the medal series on the last day. A great week is expected ahead, with close action on the water and parties shoreside. Hang Loose Beach is certainly the place to be this week. Do not miss it. A sunny 2nd day at the 2013 European Kite Racing Championship anticipated another great day for competition here at Hang Loose Beach. The clear blue water and stunning sandy beach are the perfect backdrop for the many shoreside events which complement the racing, with side events and the parties keeping everyone entertained. Add in world-class racing conditions and you have a win-win situation for both athletes and their audience. The 2nd day was also the final day of qualifications for the men's fleet that were split into gold and silver on the 3rd day. So a big challenge for the riders in the middle of the flights who are struggling to advance to race with the top riders who will make it to the gold fleet. The conditions were lighter, forcing everyone to use bigger kites in order to plane and giving an advantage to the lighter athletes. The breeze also caused some challenges for the top riders, who were unable to hold on to the top spots and scored some lower results. One of them was yesterday's leader, Italy's led Cesar, who with one race outside the top 5 and one outside the top 10 was not massively happy with his performance today, as he got knocked off the leaderboard top 5. Despite a disqualification in the last race yesterday, Russia's Doronin came back even stronger today, scoring another 3 bullets and claimed the top slot. A great performance from the young Bridge, who moved up to climb into second place. Amazing that at only 15 years old, he is already challenging the more experienced racers. All flights completed their schedules with another 4 races today, demonstrating the consistency and superb racing venue of Hang Loose Beach.
I'm here first time. It's very beautiful place, very amazing. It's a good place for race, very good. I think it's the best what I saw in my life. We'll have good fun.
The Russian team had even better results in the women's fleet, with young Kalinina dominating out on the racetrack today. Lighter conditions are her favourite, and she definitely showed that. The rest of the fleet shuffled a bit, with Bridge having some troubles following the Russian, but saved her day by winning the last race. Bridge is now very close with Holland's Roos. The top 3 riders have already built a safe distance from the rest of the pack, and it seems likely this will turn out to be a 3-horse race right through to the end. So get ready for a close and exciting final series. The end of the day meant relaxation and recovery ahead of race day 3. What better way to relax than a swim right next to where you are racing? The social life and parties here are legendary and an experience not to be missed. Whilst the kiters were in Hang Loose Beach to race, there is no question they were equally enjoying the evening activities. With the third day of racing, the 2013 European Kite Racing Championship here at Hang Loose Beach was already halfway through, with the top 37 men advancing into the gold fleet and the women continuing as one fleet. The conditions, as expected, were perfect, with bright sun and lots of people descending on the beach to enjoy the summery weather, but also a thrilling kite racing spectacle that the top kiters would put on today. Hosting top athletes in the world altogether is not something that goes without drawing some attention, and these riders knew how to give their best performance.
The weather is just phenomenal here. It's so warm and beautiful women everywhere, and the sand is so hot you can barely walk in it sometimes. Amazing not to be in a wetsuit for once. We just finished the qualifying series, so now we're moving on to the gold fleet, and the women are just starting to go into their finals right now as we're doing some last minute measuring. And then when we do the reseeding for the gold fleet, we'll go out there, we'll try to knock out as many races and see what happens.
First to go out on the water were the women's fleet, with all 18 girls enjoying the windy conditions. Although a protest for equipment regulations saw yesterday's undisputed top rider, Russia's Kalinina, dropping to the back of the fleet. So it was now a close fight between Britain's Bridge and the rider from Holland, Roos, for the top spot. The Russian was not ready yet to abandon races, and she pushed forward even stronger today to claim all 4 races and prove that she is still in the game and will fight until the last day. Bridge was close behind her in most of the races, and the battles between them were fierce, finishing neck and neck in some of them. Despite having troubles to sail a clear course, Roos managed to follow in third, and along with Bridge managed to extend their lead from the rest of the fleet even further. In these conditions, it is all about speed, and the most experienced kiters easily stand out from the rest. Trimming the kite and keeping the board firmly under their feet gives the extra speed needed to achieve the advantage. Meanwhile, the men's fleet had even more equipment-related protests, and that kept them ashore for most of the day. But the sailors did what they do best and filled the time waiting by doing what they really love: kiting. These guys have no intention of losing any opportunity to sail in the great conditions Gitzeria has to offer, and seem to really enjoy it. Finally in the afternoon, the Gold Fleet hit the water for 3 races, with the young British Bridge now in the leading position after the disqualifications. But the rest of the riders had not had their last word yet, and Gold Fleet is always something that alters the game and gives more chances to the more experienced athletes. Showing a great performance and winning the second race for today, Bridge managed to keep at the top. The fourth was the penultimate day of racing at the 2013 European Kite Racing Championship, with both men and women having to push it in order to advance to the Platinum Fleet, where only the top 10 got to race for the medals. So a critical day that turned all eyes to Hang Loose Beach. The penultimate day of racing at the beautiful Hang Loose Beach was a critical one, with the top riders having to perform at their best in order to make it through to the Platinum Fleet at the final day. But fun is also a big factor in an athlete's psychology, so what's better than partying the night before? The club was filled with people that had a great time, with music and dancing the key ingredients for the night. The morning after, though, everyone was ready to go racing, and it would be a tough one, especially for the men's fleet that had to catch up with the lost races on the third day. So 4 races for the men and 2 for the women, with everything at stake. All the riders were fully focused. The Bridge family has reserved the 2 top spots at the leaderboard, with Steph having a clear lead from Bruce. And her son Oliver had a great performance yesterday, extending even further his points difference from Russia's Doronin, who lies in second. Even though he is only 15 years old, Bridge showed great maturity today, and with solid results in the top 5 managed to keep his lead and go into the medal series tomorrow with a safe lead from Ledceza, who is now in second place after a very bad day for Doronin, who dropped in 5th. A great performance today from Holland's Van der Vlugt managed to climb him into 4th overall, scoring 3 top 5 races. In the women's fleet, everyone was waiting to see if the young Russian Kalinina, who managed to score 4 straight bullets yesterday, would make it to the top 10 and continue racing tomorrow as well. With only 2 races on today's schedule, it would be a true challenge for her. Meanwhile, Bridge had to keep in front of Roos in order to hold on to her top spot. Star of the day was again Kalinina. She scored another 2 bullets and marginally made it in the top 10 with 6 first finishes and 8 disqualifications. Not a frequent sight. Bridge managed to stay close behind her and scored 2 second finishes and extend even further her lead from Roos, who scored 2 thirds. So with Bridge in the lead and Poland's Janiak completing the top 10 in the men's fleet, it is now all about the final day, with 4 races scheduled and everything possible. The small number of riders doesn't allow many opportunities for covering the lost ground, and it's going to be hard for those that already have built a safe lead to lose their place. Same schedule for the women as well, and it remains for another day to see if mother and son will achieve the remarkable and be crowned European champions for 2013 in men and women. As we were going into the final day, the championship was climaxing and all eyes were turned to Hang Loose Beach. As one of the top spots for kite surfing, it has so far offered exceptional sailing conditions, with constant wind throughout the week and a massive 14 races completed. Not only that, the parties and the side events taking place here each day offered a great time to the riders outside the water as well. It has been a great week so far here at the Hang Loose Beach, and the 2013 European Kite Racing Championships have seen 4 days of strong competition and phenomenal conditions. But everything comes down on the final day, with the top 10 men and women competing in the medal series, where each sailed 4 races to determine the winner of the 2013 European Championships. But everything comes down today with the top 10 men and women competing in the medal series, where they must each sail 4 races to determine the winner of the 2013 European Championships. The courses on this last day were shorter, which brought the fleet closer together and saw the riders fighting hard to improve their standings. First to go racing were the women's fleet, and it was going to be a battle between the top 2 on the overall leaderboard, Steph Bridge from Britain and Holland's Katja Roos. Roos had a great start to the day, and after a crash from Kalinina at the windward mark, she managed to take the lead and scored her 3rd bullet in this championship. Bridge finished in 3rd place and had to come back with a good result in the next race to protect her place on the leaderboard. And she made it. Giving a dynamic performance in the 2nd race of the day, she managed to round on top at the bottom gate and keep her lead ahead of 2nd place Kalinina, leaving Roos in 3rd. After another 2 races in lighter conditions, Bridge kept her top spot on the podium, winning the championship. Roos came a close 2nd, and in 3rd was Germany's Christine Boiniger. Then it was time for the men to hit the water. Ahead of racing, Britain's Oliver Bridge had a safe lead from the Italian-led Cesar, who was 2nd overall. But it was Russia's Doronin that had a great start and managed to keep his lead throughout the first race of the day, with Led Cesar in 2nd. Bridge was in 3rd, but had no worries about losing his top spot on the leaderboard. Led Cesar went on to win the 2nd race of the day, distancing himself from the rest of the riders and finishing in 2nd place overall for the championship.
It's pretty surreal, that's all he says. It hasn't really sunk in. I never really thought this was going to happen, ever actually. We came here to do our best, and we've had a great time, and we're super lucky to have been involved with this event.
I'm pretty happy racing with all of them because we're about the same level, and yeah, it's really competitive out there, especially between Ricardo and me.
So Oliver Bridge has crowned the new kite racing European champion for 2013, and it would be a hard record to beat, winning the Europeans at his young age of 15 years old. It was to be 2 Bridges on top at this year's championships after an amazing finale in the women's racing too. Steph Bridge dominated the competition, taking the top spot with Holland's Roos in 2nd place. All of the riders gathered to receive their trophies during a memorable closing ceremony. Mother and son could not be happier to have accomplished something not often seen in sports like kite racing, where fitness and experience are key factors. The warmth and hospitality of the Hang Loose Beach made for a successful and thoroughly enjoyable championship that has left its mark on all of the athletes competing here. It was a memorable week with splendid conditions that could not have been better for the final day of racing. Thanks for watching.